We all die eventually. That's a fact of life. The problem for us humans is that we are aware of our mortality, but we are afraid to take this awareness further. We don't like confronting death. We need to look at death more closely, more deeply, and explore the different ways of approaching life and death. There's 5 ways to help us achieve this. If you put this philosophy into practice, you can alter your own experiences and create motivation for yourself. Anyway, let's get into the 5 ways. Make the awareness visible. Most people avoid confronting death because it can bring up unpleasant thoughts. We should not see death as something morbid or terrifying. You should gain awareness and confront it. If you can get past this obstacle, you will have an immensely liberating effect on yourself, connecting yourself to the world around you and heightening your senses. We're normally in a very distracted, dreamlike state. We have fantasies and resentments that's eternal and have very little relation to reality. But by being closer to death, you're snapped back into reality. The mind focuses to a much higher level. We notice more details, see people in a new light, and emotional responses deepen. People who have been close to death experience this, and have greater psychological change. You do not have to put your life at risk to produce this experience. You can gain some of the effect in small doses by envisioning your own death. Imagine the day of your death, where you might be, and how it might come. Make this as vivid as possible. Let the death of your own life sink in. Awaken to the shortness of life. We come to imagine that we always have more time than we actually do in reality. If we have a plan or goal we find it hard to commit to with a lot of energy, we usually procrastinate and postpone it. We tell ourselves that we will do it later, but if we have a deadline on a particular project, we tend to find a focus to get things done in a shorter amount of time. You must become aware that our mortality has a deadline. You could die in a week, you could die tomorrow. You don't know when you will die. Even if you live for a very long time, you need to realize that time passes more quickly than we imagine. Being aware of the shortness of life clarifies our daily actions. Being aware of the shortness of life clarifies our daily actions and creates a sense of urgency to get things done. See the mortality in everyone. Realize that everybody will die eventually. That's including you as well. Look at your friends, family, and strangers. In 100 years, it's likely that they won't be alive. Also think of the millions of people that came before you who have been long forgotten. These thoughts brings down your ego and lowers your own sense of grand importance, realizing that we're not special and that we share the same fate, which is death. Embrace all pain and adversity. Life involves pain and suffering. The ultimate form of this is death itself. Many people try to avoid pain and adversity, so avoidance becomes our pattern. We need to face our failures, mistakes, and struggles. Accept these moments and embrace them, because in doing so we learn and become stronger. At the core of this, you will have a complete acceptance of death. The love of fate has the power to alter everything we experience and lighten the burdens we carry. Open the mind to the sublime. Sublime means the quality of greatness. The sublime is anything that exceeds our capacity for words or concepts by being too large, too vast, too dark and mysterious. When we face these things, we feel a touch of fear, but also awe and wonder. We're also reminded of our smallness, of what is much bigger and powerful than us. For example, your mind can try to understand the infinity of space and the smallness of your planet. You can also think about the great number of other species and creatures on your planet as well. Things like this is opening your mind to the sublime, because you're thinking about something greater than yourself. This makes you realize that you're not the center of everything, and you can face death more easily. Okay, with this philosophy in your mindset, you are aware of your mortality and have a true taste of freedom. You become more daring and no longer afraid of the consequences. You can also commit fully to your work. You're no longer a slave to the fear of death. Leave a like and subscribe in this video for added value to you. Link in the description. You want to check out the book. It's called The Laws of Human Nature. Thanks for watching. Make sure to fulfill your purpose. And farewell.